With the men's basketball team making history, reaching their 11th consecutive loss, how are Hoosiers feeling about Coach Crean and the hype behind his recruiting class? Lucas Mayer was on campus to talk to students.
I headed out to the Memorial Union to find out if students thought next year's top 10 recruiting class could help the basketball team.
I'm feeling pretty good, pretty confident about the team for next year. I think that guys who have been here for a year will finally figure out the college game. I think that Crean, he's shown what he's done at Marquette, and I really think that will translate to good basketball for next year. I'm not crazy in that I think we're going to go win the NCAA tournament. I think that we could possibly make it, if we do well in the Big Ten tournament.
I think we have a long way to go before it really makes a difference. I think we could just by adding more people to the team, then it'll get better eventually.
Our recruiting team this year is really good, and Tom Crean is really good, so that combination is going to make us a lot better.
I think next year's recruiting class is definitely going to help the basketball team. They're going to have the talent, but I think they're also going to be young at the same time, so they may not hit their stride till become Big Ten time when they get that experience underneath of them.
I don't think it's going to help them right away. We're not going to see instant results, but after a couple of years, I think it's definitely going to help us out.
Well, I just think that Tom Crean's a good coach, and it might take a few years before we can actually pull up our team to its potential.
Honestly, I don't think they're really going to help out too much next year. As far as recruiting goes, I know it's a top 10 class, but most of the guys coming in aren't going to be ready to play as freshmen. Usually you get about one or two guys that can come in and help immediately. So it's going to more rely on how much the older guys progress from last season. I think they'll do better next year, record-wise, but there's not going to be an NCAA tourney, and I'm saying lucky to break 500 next year, but the year after, hopefully we'll be back to IU basketball.
Indiana students seem to think that next year's recruiting class will indeed help the Hoosiers improve. But people are remaining realistic and are not necessarily expecting a tournament berth. At IU Memorial Union, I'm Lucas Mayer, Hoosier Sports Night.
The presidential election may be history, but the Whitney Thomas for All-American campaign is in full swing. The campaign bus came to Bloomington after the women's basketball team's losing effort in Illinois for a matchup with Penn State.
At the start of the women's game, the Hoosiers decided they needed to step it up in the second half.
We got in the huddle, made sure we knew number 1, 3 shooters, and we just got in their face and made them shoot twos. That was the game plan, so that's what we did, and we executed it well second half.
For the 10th time, the Hoosier women have been able to keep their opponents scoring under 58 points. Playing against Penn State, Indiana was able to come out on top with a 65-55 victory.
We were playing in our man-to-man defense, and we were hesitant on whether to switch or to stay. And we made a decision to switch that. And once we switched that, that confused them a little bit. Then we switched our defense entirely and went back to our one defense, and that really put them on their heels.
Amber Jackson was able to lead the Hoosiers with a total of 15 points.
It's harder to double someone off of an offensive rebound versus a pass in, so I know that's something I can bring to the team, and I can score that way by getting it off the boards.
We just want to keep this thing going as long as we can because of the comfort level we have for each other and the love that we have for each other. So devastation is not a word that we use. We just learn the lessons through hopefully victories, but if losses come, we're going to learn the lessons and we're going to continue to move on.
The Hoosiers plan to build off this win and carry the momentum through the season. At Assembly Hall, I'm Rachel Benson, Hoosier Sports Night.
Coming off their loss to Illinois, IU's women's basketball team was in need of a win. Amber Jackson led IU with 15 points and 12 rebounds, securing her 4th double-double of the season.
I try to do whatever I can to help the team win. I know I need to stay on the boards and be aggressive, and I can score that way by getting it off the boards.
The team improves to 15-4 on the year and 8-2 in conference play. Thursday's win gets them one step closer to their goal to play in March.
We have a goal to get to the NCAA tournament. None of us have been there, and all the seniors were really dedicated on that goal, and we know it's one game at a time. So after losing to Illinois, we really had to come back and focus and practice and realize that, we have to come back against Penn State and start a new winning streak from here, and starts with Penn State. So we were really focused, and we're focused on beating Penn State.
Thursday's win keeps the Hoosiers on track for their first conference championship since 1983. From Assembly Hall, I'm Kate Senne, Hoosier Sports Night.
IU women's basketball battled Ohio State over the weekend. The Buckeyes entered the game as Big Ten leaders with an overall record of 17-3, fresh off a close win against the Michigan Wolverines. With the Hoosiers currently half game behind the leading Buckeyes in the Big Ten standings, we were there for the battle for first place. Coach Jack and the Hoosiers in a battle for first in the Big Ten at Ohio State. Early in the game, the pass to Whitney Thomas, and this is why she's an All-American candidate. Hoosiers go on with the lead. Hoosiers with the ball again, Jamie Brown to Whitney Thomas in the paint. She goes up, no foul here, but she gets 2 points. Hoosiers with a 7-point lead over the Buckeyes. But Ohio State is looking to make a comeback late in the first. Brittany Johnson drains the three. In another quick play back-to-back after this, the Buckeyes in the lane, the pass and a quick jumper. And then heading into the half, Ohio State leads 32-29. In the second half, Buckeyes with the pass to their powerhouse Star Allen with the easy layup. She had a double-double on the night with 21 points and 13 rebounds. IU's Amber Jackson to Jamie Brown, who drains the three. She had 10 points on the night for the Hoosiers. But Ohio State is not giving in to the Hoosiers. Just put the ball in Star's hands, and it all works out. She goes up, gets the foul. The Stars fell on Columbus today. Buckeyes win 59-51. The Buckeyes sported a two-headed monster with forward Star Allen and center Jontel Lavender. They had 21 points and 17 points respectively. Allen also went 9 for 11 at the free throw line and collected 13 rebounds to lead the team. Sophomore Jory Davis had 15 points for a Hoosier team high and 2 steals for IU, but also turned the ball over 5 times. Turnovers created missed opportunities for Indiana as they were able to create 24 of them, but only shot a hair over 31% on the game.
IU wrestling traveled to Ann Arbor to take on the Wolverines over the weekend. While the Hoosiers were ranked number 19 in the country, Michigan entered almost evenly matched at number 18. IU's defending 125-pound national champion Angel Escobedo started the match off right, giving the Hoosiers 6 points with a second-period pin of Michigan's Mike Watts. He was later able to turn Watts over and record the fall with just under 10 seconds remaining in the period. Nick Palpole also was able to record a fall for the Hoosiers, but the Wolverines fought strong to defeat IU 20-18.
The men's and women's track teams played host for the 4th straight time this year at Gladstein Fieldhouse. Senior Jeff Coover improved on his pole vault mark once again, clearing 5.37 meters. This 5 inches better than his previous mark and 6.5 inches higher than the NCAA provisional mark, which puts him in a good position to contend for an NCAA indoor championship. This places him 3rd overall in Division I. The women, not to be outdone, have Molly Beckworth, who is the 4th best time in Division I after improving to 2.07 in the 800-meter run. The Hoosiers are back on the track February 6th at Notre Dame.
Coming up after the break, we are talking IU men's basketball with a special roundtable discussion.